The shrill ring of the phone echoed through the living room, shattering the tranquility of Rachel's afternoon. She picked it up, expecting the usual chatter or maybe a call from work. However, the voice on the other end belonged to Felix, her husband, sounding unusually chipper. "Hey, babe," he said, a hint of excitement in his voice. "Guess what? My family's decided to take a last-minute trip to Hawaii. Isn't that great?" Rachel's brows furrowed. Hawaii? That was on the opposite side of the country. Her mind raced with questions, but before she could voice them, Felix dropped the bombshell. "Oh, by the way, they thought it would be a fantastic idea if you took care of Sophia while we're away. She's your responsibility now. Cool?" A stunned silence hung in the air as Rachel struggled to process the unexpected responsibility thrust upon her. Finally, she managed to stammer, "Wait, what? Hawaii? Sophia? What do you mean, my responsibility?" Felix chuckled nervously, as if the gravity of the situation had escaped him. "Relax, Rach, it's just for a week. Sophia needs someone to look after her, and who better than her loving sister-in-law? Plus, you two will get along just fine." Rachel's frustration boiled beneath the surface, but she took a deep breath, trying to maintain her composure. "Felix, you can't just drop this on me out of nowhere. What about work? What about my plans? I can't just drop everything and—" Felix cut her off with a dismissive wave. "Come on, Rachel, it's family. You can handle it. Besides, it's just a week. We'll be back before you know it. Love you." The call ended abruptly, leaving Rachel holding the phone, her mind a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. She sighed, realizing that her once uncomplicated life had just taken an unexpected turn. The weight of Sophia's care now rested squarely on her shoulders, and as she gazed at the silent phone in her hand, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was more than just a simple favor for family. Days turned into weeks, and the weight of Sophia's care stretched beyond the initial commitment. Felix's family enjoyed their tropical escape, leaving Rachel to navigate the challenges of caring for a once thought to be bedridden sister-in-law. In the early days of their relationship, Rachel and Felix had shared dreams, laughter, and a sense of partnership. But as time wore on, Felix's dedication to his work became a persistent wedge. Late nights at the office became routine, and canceled plans became the norm. One evening, as Rachel prepared a simple dinner in the quiet kitchen, Felix breezed in, briefcase in hand, his eyes glued to his phone. She looked up, her attempt at a smile falling flat as she tried to grasp his attention. "Felix, we need to talk," she said, her voice tinged with a mix of frustration and longing. He barely looked up, preoccupied with his phone. "Can it wait, Rach? I've got a conference call in 10 minutes. Rachel set down the spoon, the clatter echoing in the silent kitchen. "It feels like we never talk anymore. You're always working, always distracted. What happened to us?" Felix sighed, a hint of irritation in his voice. "Look, Rachel, work's demanding right now. I need to focus on my career. We'll have plenty of time for this stuff later." "Later?" Rachel's voice rose, hurt and anger bubbling to the surface. "Felix, we're drifting apart. This isn't the life we planned." He glanced up briefly, his expression unreadable. "Things change, Rach. We have responsibilities now. I'm doing this for us." "For us?" Rachel repeated, incredulous. "What about now? What about our relationship?" Felix's response was a half-hearted apology as he rushed off to his conference call, leaving Rachel alone with her thoughts. The distance between them grew, and the fracture in their foundation widened. As weeks turned into months, Felix's true self emerged. The man Rachel had fallen in love with seemed like a distant memory, replaced by a workaholic who prioritized his career over their relationship. Late nights turned into lonely dinners, and canceled plans became an unwelcome routine. One evening, Rachel confronted Felix as he prepared to leave the house yet again. "Felix, we can't keep living like this. We're supposed to be partners, sharing our lives together. But you're never here," she pleaded. He glanced at his watch, impatience evident in his eyes. "Rachel, I'm doing this for us. You'll understand when my hard work pays off. This is temporary." "But what about now?" Rachel's voice trembled with frustration. "I need you now, not some distant future that may never come." Felix's response was a dismissive kiss on the forehead, leaving Rachel standing alone in the doorway, her heart sinking. The fracture in their foundation had become a chasm, and Rachel was left to navigate the widening gap between them. With the unexpected responsibility of caring for Sophia, Rachel found herself in the midst of strained relationships, particularly with her mother-in-law, Agnes. As the weeks passed, Agnes's criticisms and outdated expectations became a constant presence, casting a shadow over Rachel's attempts to balance work, caring for Sophia, and maintaining her own sanity. One evening, as Rachel set the dinner table, Agnes entered the room, her disapproving gaze fixed on the arrangement. "Rachel, dear, is this how you set a table?" Agnes asked, her tone laced with judgment. Rachel bit her lip, frustration simmering beneath the surface. "I thought it looked fine. What's wrong with it?" Agnes sighed dramatically, as if burdened by Rachel's apparent incompetence. "In this family, we'd have standards. This haphazard arrangement simply won't do. You need to learn how to take care of things properly." Rachel took a deep breath, attempting to keep her composure. "Agnes, I'm doing the best I can. I didn't sign up for this, you know. Your son dropped this responsibility on me out of nowhere." Agnes raised an eyebrow, her disapproval intensifying. "You married into this family, Rachel. Responsibilities come with the territory. If you can't handle them, perhaps you should reconsider your choices." The tension in the room thickened, the unsaid words hanging in the air. As Agnes walked away, Rachel clenched her fists, a mix of anger and hurt coursing through her. Days turned into a relentless cycle of criticism, with Agnes pointing out perceived flaws and shortcomings at every turn. The strain on Rachel's patience reached a breaking point one evening when Agnes questioned her ability to care for Sophia. "You know, Rachel, it's one thing to be careless with table settings, but caring for my daughter requires a level of responsibility that I'm not sure you possess," Agnes remarked, her tone cutting. Rachel, weary from the constant barrage of negativity, snapped, "Agnes, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for any of it. And for your information, I'm doing my best to take care of Sophia, despite your constant interference." Agnes raised an eyebrow, unyielding in her stance. "Your best may not be enough for Sophia. Perhaps someone more capable should take over." The room fell into a tense silence as Rachel stared at Agnes, her frustration boiling over. The maternal struggles were becoming unbearable, and Rachel found herself caught in a web of expectations she never signed up for. As Agnes walked away, leaving Rachel to simmer in her frustration, the fractures in their relationship deepened, casting a long shadow over the already challenging days ahead. The days of Rachel's unexpected responsibility for Sophia unfolded in a monotonous routine, punctuated by Agnes's criticisms and Rachel's growing sense of isolation. However, one evening, as Rachel was preparing to assist Sophia, a startling revelation turned her world upside down. Sophia, who had been lying motionless for weeks, suddenly sat up in bed, her eyes locking onto Rachel's bewildered gaze. Surprised, Sophia's voice, though weak, held a hint of amusement. Rachel stumbled backward, a mixture of shock and confusion clouding her expression. "Sophia, you can talk? Move? Why didn't you say anything before?" Sophia offered a weak smile. "Peace, Rachel. I needed this facade for a bit of peace and quiet. Family thinks I'm helpless, and they leave me alone. Plus, it's been ages since anyone treated me like a normal person." The revelation hung in the air, transforming the dynamics of their relationship. Rachel's mind raced with questions, her emotions oscillating between relief and betrayal. "Why keep it a secret?" Rachel asked, her voice a mix of curiosity and hurt. Sophia sighed, her eyes reflecting a lifetime of hidden struggles. "I'm bedridden, but not helpless. People treat you differently when they think you can't do anything. I needed a break from their expectations and judgments. So I pretended. It was the only way I could have some peace." Rachel's brow furrowed, the weight of Sophia's secret settling into her understanding. "But why now? Why reveal this to me?" Sophia's gaze softened. "Because, Rachel, you're different. You treat me like a person, not a burden. And I can't stand the thought of you carrying this weight alone. We can face it together." In that moment, the veils of deception lifted, revealing a connection that went beyond the confines of familial duty. As Rachel assisted Sophia with newfound understanding, their shared secret forged a bond that transcended the complications of their family dynamics. In the days that followed, Rachel and Sophia navigated the challenges together, creating a sanctuary of trust amidst the chaos of their family's expectations. The veiled secret had unraveled, but in its wake emerged an unexpected alliance, a fragile yet genuine connection that promised to reshape the narrative of their intertwined lives. As Felix's family embarked on their Hawaiian adventure, Rachel grappled with the newfound knowledge of Sophia's abilities and the burden of their shared secret. The invitation to join them in paradise came, but Rachel, feeling a newfound strength, declined. One evening, as she prepared dinner for Sophia, Rachel received a call from Felix. "Felix, I can't come to Hawaii," she said, determination coloring her voice. There was a pause on the other end, and then Felix replied, "What? Why not? It's the perfect opportunity for us to spend some time together." Rachel took a deep breath, steadying herself. "Felix, there are things you don't know. Things I've discovered about Sophia. I can't leave her alone, not now. I need to be here for her." Felix sighed, the frustration evident in his tone. "Rachel, can't someone else take care of her? This is our chance to reconnect, to get away from all this responsibility." Rachel shook her head, even though he couldn't see it. "No, Felix, I've made up my mind. I need to do what's right for Sophia, for us." The call ended, leaving Rachel with a mix of emotions. She knew this decision marked a turning point in her life, a step towards asserting her own agency. As the family jetted off to the tropical paradise, Rachel and Sophia hatched a plan of their own. They booked separate flights, arriving in Hawaii discreetly, and secured rooms at the same resort hotel. Upon arriving at the airport, Rachel couldn't shake the nervous excitement. Sophia, on the other hand, radiated a quiet sense of rebellion mixed with glee. "So we're doing this," Sophia said, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Rachel chuckled, feeling a sense of camaraderie. "We are. It's time to rewrite the script a bit, don't you think?" In Hawaii, they navigated the sprawling resort, savoring the freedom of anonymity. As they strolled through the lush gardens, Rachel couldn't help but feel a sense of liberation. One afternoon, while sipping drinks by the pool, Rachel received a text from Felix. "We're having a family dinner tonight. You should join us. It's not too late." Rachel's fingers hovered over her phone, but Sophia, sensing her hesitation, nudged her gently. "You don't owe them anything. We're here for us, not for their expectations." The decision made, Rachel smiled at Sophia, grateful for the unexpected ally she had found. Together, they continued to explore the tropical paradise they had claimed for themselves, a secret escape that symbolized a rebellion against the roles they were expected to play. As Felix's family reveled in the Hawaiian sunshine, blissfully unaware of Rachel's decision to stay home with Sophia, Rachel and her newfound companion embarked on their own journey to the tropical paradise. The two women boarded separate flights, their hearts pounding with the thrill of a clandestine adventure. The moment they landed in Hawaii, the sense of freedom was palpable. Rachel and Sophia discreetly made their way to the same resort hotel, their rooms nestled in the heart of the lush landscape. They were determined to savor this stolen escape, a chance to redefine their lives beyond the confines of familial expectations. One evening, as they sat on the balcony, overlooking the ocean, Rachel couldn't help but marvel at the audacity of their plan. Sophia, reclined in a lounge chair, grinned mischievously. "We did it, Rachel. We're living on our terms, not theirs," Sophia remarked, raising her glass in a toast. Rachel chuckled, the weight of responsibility momentarily lifted. "Who would have thought we'd end up here, plotting our own adventure in secret?" Sophia's eyes twinkled. "Life has a funny way of surprising us, doesn't it?" Cheers to rewriting the narrative. Their parallel paths converged in the vibrant streets of Hawaii. During the day, they explored the island, indulging in the local culture and savoring the freedom of anonymity. In the evenings, they returned to their shared haven, recounting stories of their day and relishing the sense of camaraderie that had blossomed between them. Meanwhile, Felix's family reveled in their Hawaiian escape, blissfully unaware that Rachel and Sophia were navigating the same paradise on their terms. The contrast between the two narratives highlighted the dichotomy of expectations and the liberating power of embracing one's own path. One afternoon, as Rachel and Sophia strolled through a bustling market, Rachel received a call from Felix. Hesitating for a moment, she decided to answer, the lush backdrop of Hawaii providing an unexpected stage for the conversation. "Hey, Rachel, we're having a family dinner tonight. You should join us. It's not too late to catch a flight," Felix suggested, his voice hopeful. Rachel took a deep breath, the ocean breeze soothing her nerves. "Felix, I appreciate the invitation, but I need this time for myself. For us, I hope you can understand." There was a moment of silence on the other end, and then Felix sighed, resignation evident in his voice. "All right, Rachel. Just remember, we miss you here." As the call ended, Rachel felt a mix of emotions, but deep down, a newfound resolve settled in her heart. The parallel paths they tread in Hawaii became a symbol of autonomy and self-discovery, an unexpected journey that would forever alter the course of their intertwined lives. As Rachel and Sophia reveled in their clandestine adventure in Hawaii, the serenity of the tropical paradise was shattered by an unexpected turn of events. One evening, Rachel spotted Felix's family at a bustling Hawaiian restaurant. Sophia, always up for a challenge, grinned mischievously. "Well, what do you say we give them a surprise they'll never forget?" Rachel hesitated but then nodded, a determined glint in her eyes. As they approached the family's table, Felix's eyes widened in disbelief. Rachel? Sophia? What are you doing here? Rachel squared her shoulders, her voice steady. I could ask you the same thing, Felix. Seems like we all have secrets, don't we? Felix stammered, attempting to compose himself. This is a family vacation. What's the problem? Sophia, seizing the moment, interjected. The problem is, Felix, you never thought to mention your affair. Or did you conveniently forget? The atmosphere at the table shifted, the air heavy with tension. Felix's family exchanged uneasy glances, and Agnes, always quick to defend her son, spoke up. Rachel, this is a family matter. You're ruining our vacation. Agnes retorted, her tone accusing. Rachel took a deep breath, the weight of years of unspoken grievances pushing her to speak her truth. Your son ruined our marriage, Agnes. I've been taking care of Sophia alone, and all he cared about was his affair. Felix, now on the defensive, attempted to deflect blame. Rachel, it's not what you think. We can talk about this later, in private. Sophia scoffed, her patience wearing thin. No more secrets, Felix. It's all out in the open now. Rachel deserves to know the truth. A hush fell over the restaurant as the confrontation unfolded. Rachel, fueled by a mix of anger and betrayal, locked eyes with Felix. You had your chance to be honest, Felix. Now it's time for me to take control of my life. We're getting a divorce, Rachel declared, her words echoing through the restaurant. Felix's family sat in stunned silence, the facade of perfection shattered. As Rachel and Sophia walked away, leaving behind the chaos they had unleashed, Rachel felt a strange mix of liberation and sadness. Later that evening, as they returned to their hotel, Sophia placed a reassuring hand on Rachel's shoulder. You did what needed to be done, Rachel. Now, let's focus on us and our newfound freedom. Rachel nodded, grateful for the unexpected ally she had found in Sophia. The confrontation in paradise marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, as Rachel and Sophia faced the uncertain future with a sense of empowerment born from the ashes of betrayal. Back home, the confrontation in Hawaii echoed in Rachel's ears as she faced the daunting task of untangling her life from the wreckage of her marriage. The decision to divorce Felix loomed large, and the legal process became a necessary step toward reclaiming control over her shattered world. One afternoon, Rachel sat in the office of a divorce attorney, a stack of papers before her, each document representing a piece of the life she once knew. The attorney, Ms. Johnson, studied Rachel with a sympathetic yet professional gaze. Rachel, divorces are never easy, but we'll do our best to make this process as smooth as possible. Now, tell me everything you know about your joint assets and any prenuptial agreements you may have. As Rachel began recounting the details, the attorney listened attentively, jotting down notes. The more Rachel spoke, the clearer the extent of Felix's betrayal became. So he had an affair for 6 months. Ms. Johnson clarified, her pen pausing over the paper. Rachel nodded, a mixture of pain and determination in her eyes. Yes, and he never bothered to tell me until I confronted him in Hawaii. I can't go back to the way things were. The attorney reassured her, You're doing the right thing, Rachel. Now let's discuss property division and alimony. We want to ensure you get what you deserve. As the legal process unfolded, Rachel discovered the extent of Felix's financial deceptions and the intricate web of lies that had entangled their marriage. Ms. Johnson explained the steps to protect Rachel's rights, but the emotional toll of the betrayal lingered. One evening, Rachel met with her close friend, Lily, for support. Over a cup of coffee, Lily leaned in, concern etched on her face. Rachel, I hate seeing you go through this. How are you holding up? Lily asked. Rachel sighed, the weight of her emotions palpable. It's overwhelming, Lily. The legal process, the revelations about Felix's financial deceit. It's a lot to process. But I can't let him get away with everything. Lily nodded, offering a reassuring smile. You're stronger than you think, Rachel. This is your chance to start anew, on your terms. Don't let him define your worth. Buoyed by Lily's words, Rachel pressed on with the legal proceedings, determined to emerge from the ordeal with a sense of self-worth intact. As the divorce papers were filed, Rachel reflected on the unexpected journey that had led her from the burden of unexpected responsibilities to the freedom of claiming her own destiny. In the courtroom, Rachel faced Felix one last time. The air was thick with tension as the judge finalized the divorce, and Rachel, though scarred by the experience, felt a glimmer of hope for the future. As she walked out of the courtroom, the weight of the legal unraveling lifted. Rachel faced the uncertain road ahead with a newfound strength, ready to rewrite her story and rediscover the resilience that had carried her through the unexpected twists of life.